So January 2022, starting question 1A. But you said calculator or otherwise. So we'll put up first. 6. The top is 40.5. Now remember you have to show working sometimes. So 0.75 by 5.4. 4.05. Now, without the calculator, we realize that 40.5 and 4.05 are the exact same numbers with the decimal place in 2 different spaces, right? As we have the calculator, 40 divided by 40.5 divided by 4.05, just 10. Now, if you were looking at using without doing this question without the calculator, and you get something like this, you would know that shifting the decimal place one space to the left, right, is to a power of 10, right? So that would be the answer as well, right? 2. Please value with a value of 3.9 tan 18 degrees correct to one decimal place. So 3.9 tan 18 degrees. Now anytime you don't have a sign in between here, you know the sign is multiply. So 3.9 multiply. Now on my calculator, you have to press the number and then press tan. Yours might be different. Then it's equal. So 1.27. Let's make sure we press it. So using the calculator, that was fine. And then put a one decimal place. 2.7. One decimal place is the 2. You look at the 7 is more than 5, so therefore we add 1. Part B, where is paid at a rate of $13.50 per hour. In a certain week, she worked 40 hours. How much did she work for? Now, remember, 40 hours is a basic week. Just standard amount of time to work. So, basic wage is equal to the rate, or the basic rate, by time, or basic time. In this case, it's basic time because it's a 40-hour work week, right? So 13.50 multiplied by 40. 13.50 by 40. So for that week, she worked for $540. To fix this. We worked 4 weeks in the month of August, and our gross week earning was $2,463.75 for a regular week comprised of 40 hours. So that's the same calculation from above, right, for the regular week. and overtime was paid at time and a half or 1.5 times the rate, show that Rhea worked 15 hours. So they actually tell you how much hours she worked, but they just ask you to show. Now, her gross wage, right, would be the weekly wage, which is $5.40 by the 4 weeks, which is $2,160. So the overtime she got paid would be the total amount 2463.75 by 2160. Not by, sorry, multiply. Take away. So 2463.75 take away 2160, $303.75. Now that's how much money she worked for overtime. Now the overtime rate is the basic rate multiplied by 1.5 or 1.5. This was 1350 multiplied by 1.5. 1350 by 1.5. $20.25, and this will be per hour. Right? Now, two ways you can check it. You can take the overtime amount and divide it by the rate, right? And you should get 15 hours, or you could take the rate and multiply it by 15 to get the overtime. So I'll look at both ways, right? The overtime would be the wage, overtime wage, which is $303.75 over $20.25. 303.75 by 20.25, 15 hours. Or we could say they give us the amount of overtime. $20 by 2025 by 15. We should get 303.75. Let's prove it to use a calculator. 303, sorry, 20.25 divided by 15. Sorry, not divide, it's a multiply. 20.25 multiply. They get $303.75. So either way, you prove that this is the amount that you're looking for. So part 3, in August, 20% of real earning was deducted as tax. Now remember, she earned what was it again? 22 something. She earned $2,463.75. Right? So she has to pay 20% of that in tax. So the tax, 20% of the gross wage, which is this amount, 20 over 100 multiplied by 2463.75. 2463.75. Right, 20%. Again, divide by 100. $492.75. That's how much money she paid in taxes. How much money does she have after the deduction? So the net wage, how much money she will have after taxes and deductions will be net wage is gross wage minus deductions. Now remember, deductions could be tax, paying things like health insurance, health surcharge, things like that. So it could be 2463.75 subtract 492. $1,971. We invested 219 of our earnings for 3 years at a rate of 4.5% simple interest. How much interest does she receive after 3 years? Something down to make some space. Part 4. She invested $219, so that will be a principal amount. Rates 4.5 for 3 years. And the time is 3 years. Now this is simple interest. We know the formula. Principal by rate by time over 100. 219 by 4.5 by 3 over 100. I can do it in one step on the calculator. So 219 by 4.5 by 3 equal divided by 100. So the interest she would have earned $29.57. Remember, money is 2 decimal places, so wrong with 2 decimal places. So $29.57. And you want to know the interest alone, then ask how much money she invested in total. Right, so that's the answer there. As the interest she would have gained. End of question. So question 2a, factorize completely 3n squared plus 15np. Now, what I tend to do is that define the factors of the 3 and the 15, which will be 3. Now, if you don't know how to remember what factors are, the factors are 3 is 1 and 3. Factors are 15 is 1, 3, 5, and 15, right? And the highest common factor is. Now, same thing with n squared and np. Factors are n squared will be n by n, which will give us n squared, right? Or 1 and n squared, and n and p. Now, the factors that we were looking for is n and p. I'm sorry, n. So it'll be 3n is the highest common factor, and then we will divide. So we divide 3n squared by 3n. 3 into 3 will be 1, will cancel out. N squared into n will be n. Now this is positive, and since we have no sign here, we understand it to be positive. And a positive divided by a positive is a positive sign. Then 15 divided by 3 is 5. NP divided by n, the n will cancel out with each other and you'll remain at p. And that's the answer right there. Now all this within is unnecessary. I'm just showing you how I get it. The diagram below shows a quadrilateral with the length of sides written in terms of x. Write an expression in terms of x for the perimeter of a quadrilateral. So perimeter, any shape, more or less is to add sides. So we start on the top. We have 15 minus 2x, 3x minus 7, 2x plus 5, 2x minus 1. Now the cm is just the unit, so you don't have to write it in. And we could, and they want us to express it in a simplest form, so we have to simplify it. So we have 15, take away 7, add 5, take away 1. 15, take away 7, add 5, take away 1. Which is, in this case, 15 take away 7, 5, 12. Let's make sure that I have 15 minus 7, add 5, take away 1. Yes, that's correct. So put the 12 here. Then we're going to do with the x's, negative 2, add 3, add 2, add 2. So negative 2x, add 3x, add 2x, add 2x. Now, this and this will basically cancel out each other. So you'll have 3 plus 2, which is 5x, plus 5x. So that's it in this simplest form. Part 2, they told us the perimeter is equal to 32. So therefore, this is equal to 32. Find the length of the longer side. Now, it's not a trick question. They just want us to find the length of the longer side. From the diagram, you will see that this is the longer side. We're just making sure, right? So let's find the value of x first. When I do that, we want the x alone on the left hand side, so we get rid of it. So 5x will be 32. 32 subtract 12, which is 20. 5x is equal to 20. 1x, we divide by 5 on both sides. 5 into 5 cancel out. X is 4. Now from the diagram, you can say 2x plus 5 is the longest. right? But they didn't say the diagram was drawn to scale. So let's work it out with using that information alone, right? So 2x plus 5 will be 2, 4 in brackets, replacing the x with the 4. 2 4s are 8, plus 5 is 13 centimeters. And just for mental maths, I'm trying to remember, just checking to see if there's a longer side. 2x minus 1, 2x will be 8, minus 1 is 7. 15 minus 2x, 15 minus 8. So, and then 3x minus 7, 3 4s are 12 minus 7. So yes, this is the correct longer side. That's just a way to check. Part C. Determine all the integer values. Integer values are whole numbers, right? Which will satisfy the inequality. See, you have negative 1 minus 4x over 3, 5. Now, you have to work this in two separate parts. So the first part will be negative 1 is less than 2 minus 4x over 3. Now you're treating this like an equal sign. So to get rid of the 3, we multiply by 3 on both sides. This will cancel this. We'll have negative 3 is less than or equal. No, oh, right. Now, if you had multiply or divide by a negative number, yeah, the sign, the direction, the sign will change, right? But we didn't. And again, to get rid of the 2, because you want the x on one side, we will cross the equal sign to be negative 3 minus 2. Less than equal to, sorry, not equal, less than negative 4. We work it out first, negative 3 minus 2, you add and keep the sign, but the signs are the same. And this is what we're talking about. You want to divide by the negative 4 on both sides. And therefore the sign, the direction of the sign will change to the opposite side. So this is a negative divided by negative is a positive. 5 divided by 4 is 1, 1 remainder. Right? So far we have x is greater than 1.25. And now we deal with the second part of it. From here to here. So we say 2 minus 4x over 3 is less than or equal to 5. And again, to get rid of 3, multiply by 3 on both sides. This will cancel this. Yeah, 2 minus 4x less than or equal to 15. Carry the 2 across. So we have negative 4x less than or equal to 15, subtract 2. 15. And again, you're going to divide by a negative sign or negative value. So this direction of the sign will change. So this will cancel to give us x. We have negative 3.25. So putting them together again, now x will be in the middle. This one says that x is greater than, so x will be greater than will be on this side. So you have negative 3.25. And this one says x is less than 1.25. Right now, what are the integers between negative 3 and 1.25? Right now, integers are whole numbers, whether they're positive or negative, right? Number line, we have -3 here. Fix that a little bit. Number line, we have 0, 1, 2, -1, -2, -3. Now note, this is -4. -3 and a quarter is not on the side of the line. It will be like here, right? And 1 and a quarter will be something like here. So what are the integers or the whole numbers in between this area here? So we have 3, -2, -1, 0, and 1. So we determine all the integers. This would therefore be that. All right, all the integers will be -3, -2, -1, 0. Does 0 count as an integer? I have to check that. So 0 is not an integer, so it just be 1. That's a full question to there. All right, so question 3A. The box below contains the name of 5 quadrilaterals: trapezium, rhombus, kite, square, rectangle. Choose the name of the quadrilateral from the box that best fits or best completes each sentence. If something has no lines of symmetry and has rotational symmetry of order 1. So which one has no lines of symmetry and has rotational symmetry of order 1? Now a square is symmetrical, rectangle is symmetrical. Now a kite is like this, right? So that has symmetry along 2 axes at least, right? Trapezium, depending on how it's drawn, right, would look just a second. Now, trapezium could look like this, could look like this, right? But a rhombus, however, all the sides are equal, right? So even though they are at an angle, all the sides might be equal, right? So therefore, this one, part 1, the answer is trapezium. Right? So a trapezium does not necessarily have lines of symmetry. If something has exactly 2 lines of symmetry and 4 right angles, 2 lines of symmetry and 4 right angles. Now, with a rhombus, we'll have this, this, and that. Square is the same thing, diagonal lines, but a rectangle, and it has 2 lines of symmetry. Right, so the answer for part 2 is a rectangle. If something has 1 line of symmetry but no rotational symmetry, 1 line of symmetry but no rotational symmetry, that would have to be a kite. must have at least two square, but yes, we have the kite. I'll check that one for you and get back to you on that. But most likely what I'm thinking is kite, because the kite can have two long lines to the top, two short lines to the bottom, or the other way around. Right? So you only have one line of symmetry down the center, right? So yeah, the answer is kite. Then we have P. This is geometry. The diagram below shows four straight lines, two of which are parallel. So this line coming down this way and this line coming down this way. This is a transversal line to two parallel lines, and this is a transversal line to two parallel lines. So in this first part here, we can find the value of P, but they ask us for Q, then R, and probably P is after. So determine the value of Q. And I'll give the reasons why. Now, Q, I'll show this to you so I can explain to you. So this is P, 71, Q, R, and 54. Now, because there's something called corresponding angles, angles that in the same position will be equal. So this angle and this angle will be in the same position, so that will be equal. Now, this line is a straight line. Therefore, if I add these two angles, to get 180 degrees, therefore be 180 degrees, subtract 54. 6, 2, 126 degrees, right? So the reason why corresponding angles are equal and then angles on a straight line some 180 degrees, right? R now, this is R. R is vertically opposite to 54, therefore it's 54 degrees. Because vertically opposite angles are equal. This is the last one they will ask us here. Give a geometrical reason why the angle at P is equal to 71. Now, the reason why angle at P is 71 because it forms a Z shape. And these are called alternate angles. And alternate angles are equal. Now, in your question paper, when you're answering it, you'll have to say 71 degrees is alternate to P angle at P, right? That's the only thing you'll have to state. Part C. The diagram below shows a triangle x prime, y prime, z prime, x double prime, y prime, z prime, right? Drawn on a square grid. Triangle XYZ is the image of triangle XYZ after enlargement of a scale factor of 2 with a center 5, 1. Draw the triangle XYZ object to the triangle XYZ prime. Now, if I can copy this one. Definitely size. Right. So yeah, that wasn't bad. So I keep this square shape and everything, right? Now they say the center of the enlargement was 5, 1. Where's 5, 1? 5 on the x, 1 on the y. So that's here. You can see better. Right. So that's the spot 5, 1 where the enlargement is. Now you have to take in consideration to go from here to here. From here to here. From here to here. Now this is the enlargement at a scale factor 2. We're going to look at the vector from this point, let's call it E to Z1, right? The vector will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Eight on the X and 2 on the Y. And from E to X1 to be different color. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 8, 6. And the last one, to go to Y, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and going up 6 again. Now, why is this important? Let's see if I can get darker color. It's a Y. Right. So what we're gonna do now is divide this by 2. And this will give us the coordinates of Z, X, and Y. So this will be 4, 1. 4, 1 is here. That'll be X value. So see that a little better. This would be, so this would be Z, sorry. E, X, so this will give us X, will be 4, 3. So 4 to 3. And Y would be 3, 3. 3, 3. Why did I flip the fraction? Oh, I know what I did wrong. All right. So let me just fix what I did wrong there. Now, because we're going to the left, this will be negative in all cases. And from this point, we'll be checking the points, right? My God. So from A, we're going left 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and up 1. So that'll give us this point here. So this will be Z. From X, we're going again 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then up 3. So 1, 2, 3. That's this point here. So this will give us the X value. And Y, -3. So we're going 1, 2, 3, and up 3. Oops. 1, 3. Right, so that would be a triangle there. Here, here, here. So that will be a triangle. Now, anytime you're using a point like this to do that, you have to consider the direction, which I didn't do in the beginning. That's why I didn't have the negative sign. That's why my fraction was inverted. Sorry, not fraction, my triangle was inverted. Right, so let me zoom back out. Redraw the line that I had here. Should be red. And you would see that the triangle falls exactly on these lines. So therefore, you know that you have your correct positions. The triangle X double prime, no, sorry, X prime, Y prime, Z prime is mapped onto XY, Z double prime by reflection in the line P. State the equation in line P. Now, how are we going to do that? We have to basically find half the distance, right? So we want the distance here to here, here to here. You could use X and O2, but it's not necessary. So half the distance, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 boxes. Half will be 3. So 1, 2, 3, which is here. Same thing here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Half will be 5. It should be here. And you just draw a line. It's supposed to be on the line. I could give another trouble, but yeah. Now, what does that line represent? The line P would be equal to 2. Right? So the reflection line will be P equal to 2, X equal to 2. Right? So the line itself is X equal to 2. But they want the line P, so P is equal to 2. Meaning that all the values here will be 2 for the X. Questions on this one? No. This is all. Okay, so question 4. 3 functions f, g, and h are defined as f of x is 2x minus 1, g of x is 3x plus 2, and h of x is equal to 5 to the power of x, I believe it is. Right, find the value of f of a half. So let me see if I copy this across. It's not right. P1, so yeah, let's copy. So part 1, we want f of a half. So we just use the function f of x, wherever we see x equal to half, 2 by a half, or 2 over 1 by a half. This one just will cancel out, you end up with 1 minus 1, which is 0. Part 2, they want h of 0. So the h function of 0, so we come and find what the h function is. And it is 5 to the power 0, and any number to the power 0 is equal to 1. And the last one, which I'm seeing here, is g squared negative 3. Now, they want g squared to the negative 3. But what is g squared? G squared is g of x. It's a composite function. So you put in the substitute g of x as this, 3x plus 2. And then substituting this entire value back into the g formula. So the 3x plus 2, close bracket, plus 2. And to expand the brackets, you multiply by each term in the bracket. So we have 3 by 3 is 9x plus 6 plus 2. And they should give us 9x plus 8. So we could go ahead and work this out now, because we know what the g squared function is. So be 9 open bracket minus 3 plus 8. 9 by negative 3 is negative 27, and 8 negative 19. Right, so this is like a little working column. Part B, find g f of x in its simplest form. Relations and functions question. So part B, we want g f of x. So just like before, we want the g of the x formula or the x function. So wherever we see x in the g, we're gonna put 2x minus 1. So the g formula starts off 3x, so 3 open bracket 2x minus 1 plus 2. And again, remove the bracket and multiply by each term. We have 6x minus 3 plus 2, and simplify 6x minus 1. Negative 3 plus 2, signs are different, subtract using a larger number. So 3 to the power 2 is 1, larger number is negative. Part C, part 1, find the g inverse of x. C, we want g inverse of x. How to go about this? We say let g of x equal to y. So that means y would be equal to 3x plus 2. And there's statements that has to be made. So interchange x and y. So where we see x, we put y. Where we see y, we put x. And then make y a subject. In other words, solve for y. We want to carry across the 2 first. We get x, take away 2 is equal to 3y. Then you're going to divide by 3 on both sides. This 3 will cancel out this 3. We'll get y is equal to x minus 2 over 3. Right? And then we say let y equal to G inverse X. So therefore we'll have G inverse X is equal to this here, which is X minus 2 divided by 3. Hence, or otherwise, determine the value of X when G inverse equals to 4. So, fit it right there. So this is the G of X inverse is equal to 4. So therefore 4 be equal to, let's say, X minus 2 over 3. And this will give us 3 multiplied by 3 on both sides. Get rid of the denominator. We have 12 is equal to X minus 2. Carry the 2 across. We have 12 plus 2 is equal to X. So X will be equal to 14. In other words, if you put 14 into the G formula, you're supposed to get 4.